The New World PTR has been updated with the leaderboards, but there's something that they've added which is, I think, quite important and possibly quite game-changing. Now, that's probably a bit of an overstatement considering it's just a new type of potion, but I do think the impact could be pretty huge. So we're going to jump onto the PTR, we're going to craft some, and we're going to test them. Let's do it. So what am I talking about? Right, so they've added these new potions. If you go to an arcane station and I find them, there's a set of potions called Reflective Health Potion, Reflective Mana Potion, and Reflective Regeneration Potion. Now, the key thing here is that it self-activates. Now, I'm presuming it self-activates when your health or your mana is low. How low? Well, that's one thing we're going to find out. However, to craft them, it's actually quite expensive. So you need a previous infused potion, either the regen mana or health potion, and you need an ampoule. I don't know if that's ampoule or ampoule. I don't know what the hell that word is. Don't hate me. But where do you craft those? Weirdly, it's at the forge. So let's go there. Now, I think it's at the forge because it's glass. I guess it makes sense, right? And if I scroll down, it's in the category of glasswares, and it's right at the very bottom. There it is, ampoule. Now, it needs charged sand and sulfur, and it needs 10 charged sand and 5 sulfur. That's actually sort of expensive, right? However, I've already farmed that up, so I will now go and craft these things. Head over to the stonecutter. Charged sand we have here. I can craft 20 charged sand. Just enough for 2 of these bad boys. Let me craft these. There we go. We got the charged sand, and I did get some sulfur as well. Head over to the smelter for the sulfur. I can craft 16 of these. I'll just craft them all. No point not doing. Okay, so I can only craft 2 of these. My bottleneck here appears to be the charged sand, because that basically requires 50 sandstone, like the sandstone blocks. Like, man, I don't know, that's quite a lot. Anyway, let's craft 2 of these. Easy done, easy done. Well, it's easy if you've got the materials. It's not so easy if you don't. And then we can go and craft these potions. Now, personally, I don't know if the mana potion is as important as the other 2. So let's talk about why these might be important. Obviously, if you were going to die and then this like saves you, that's pretty important. It depends when it triggers. So it would be really interesting to know when the health one triggers, but I just want to check the health potion and the regen potion. I presume they're the same, but I just want to prove it. It also feels like that the regen one is going to be less good for saving you, but that's what I'm going to do. If you wanted to see the mana ones, then, you know, I do apologize. However, you could just manually take the mana potion. I don't think it's as beneficial. So I'm going to craft the health potion. Let's do that now. There we go. There's that reflective health potion, and we'll do the reflective regeneration potion. Now, I think these are actually going to be super strong in arena because they're quite expensive. I think arena's where you'll see them, and I think wars is where you'll see them. Beyond that, I'm not sure how often you'll see them. Okay, so I've come to brimstone sand so I can actually test it. What I'm going to do is, well, the first thing I'm going to do is find the potion, and I'm going to put it on my bar. Now, I'm sort of curious if you can actually press it, but let's not do that. We'll try that with the regen one, and what I'm going to do is just die. Basically, I'm just going to let these mobs hit me and see what happens when I die. Yeah, pretty standard. Let's just pretty standard. I don't want the acid damage. I actually want to die from a mob. Now, oh, my gear, I don't have it. My armor's knackered. Let me just, I'll repair, even though I don't think it's necessarily going to make a difference. And then I'm just going to let this thing kill me, and we're going to keep talking until it actually triggers. So we're just going to let it kill me. I don't know at what point it will trigger. Let's see. If I don't have like percentages or anything like that. It just triggered. It triggered at halfway. Okay, well that answers the question. It triggered at halfway. I thought it was going to trigger much earlier. Now, it does share the same cooldown as the health one. Because I only have one of them, it doesn't show you the 40-second cooldown, but it does share the same cooldown, as in it knocks both of them onto cooldown. That's interesting. It triggers, for my money, a little bit too early to be worth it. If it was right at the very end, I think that would make a lot more sense because it would be keeping you alive. Now there's no point dying to that thing. So yes, okay, that answers the question. Its use is perhaps not as good as I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'll whack in the regen one. I'm going to see if I can press the button. I'm going to see if I can take it. You can. So you literally can just use it as normal. Did not expect that. I'm going to presume that you can use it at 50% as well, like that. It's just going to trigger at 50%. Okay, those answers were not quite as I expected. If I'm honest, not quite as game breaking as I thought. I thought it was going to be like right at the very end and it was just going to keep you alive, and the purpose was going to be, or if you don't see that your health gets completely like shattered, it would keep you alive. At 50%, I can, maybe it's worth it for light armor users, but I don't really think it's going to be worth it for anybody else. If you can manually press it, you're probably going to want to manually press it because the cooldown's a little bit better. Generally, when I fight, don't listen to me for PvP advice or anything like that, I try and pop my potions early so that I can maybe get them again as soon as possible. You don't generally want to wait till your health is like right near the bottom. But you know, it is what it is. It triggers at 50%. I don't really think that case is like that useful, especially for the cost of them. It seems insane. Honestly, I thought I was going to become being like, this is mega game changing, and now I'm sort of like, do I even release this video? It's not quite as good as I thought. Hopefully it's still interesting to you to see that that's what these are. It triggers at 50%. That's how it works. That's how much they cost. Yes, not quite what I expected, if I'm honest. At 25%, I would have been like, yeah, let's talk. But that really looked like it triggered at 50% to me. And that sort of seems almost worthless in my eyes. But you know, maybe there's some PvP gurus out there will be like, Jay, you are wrong, you are dog poop, and you're just gonna have to live with you being dog poop, because I am dog poop at PvP, so you wouldn't be wrong to some extent. I thought the cost of sandstone and sulfur was gonna go rocketing through the roof. Yeah, I'm less confident about that now. I don't think it's actually worth. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to support me, well then do it through the YouTubes. Become a YouTube member. Thank you very much. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.